Gold and silver held strong, regardless of news that would normally push the metal down. Some analysts say one reason is that when you look past the price volatility, it seems the fundamental drivers of gold and silver remained intact. Economic uncertainty means you have to keep up with what's happening. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll keep you in the know. On Friday, June 7th, gold and silver suffered the impacts of what one analyst called a double whammy. The first strike was news that the People's Bank of China, a net purchaser of gold for 18 consecutive months and the number one central bank gold buyer last year, didn't buy any of the yellow metal in May. Just a few minutes later came whammy number 2. News that the economy created a much larger than expected 272,000 jobs in May, which seemed to put a nail in the coffin of any realistic chance the Federal Reserve would be cutting interest rates in the near term. The reaction of precious metals that day to both pieces of news was sudden and sharp. Gold fell by nearly 3%, and silver tumbled 6%. Will China continue to slow its gold bullion purchasing, or was it just a short pause? Nobody knows. Equally, we don't know what the impacts could be. As Bloomberg put it, the risk for gold bulls is that China's voracious appetite for bullion has left the precious metal vulnerable to any potential shift in demand. For all the worrisome news that swept over precious metals that day, strategists think gold and silver are looking pretty darn good. Unsurprisingly, there were concerns that big drops that Friday might have turned into a longer, deeper slide for gold and silver. But so far, it hasn't happened. The price of gold remains solidly above $2,300 per ounce, 15% higher than where it was at the end of February when it began its latest run. And silver is still 30% higher than where it was at the end of February. Analysts say the reason for the resilience is as simple as it is logical. If investors look past the volatility, there has been no material change to the structural narrative of either metal. Following the day's turbulence, Michelle Snyder, Director of Trading Education and Research at MarketGauge, said, "We still have geopolitical uncertainty, we still have inflation, and we still have government debt and spending rising uncontrollably. These are all factors that continue to support gold and silver." Niels Christensen of precious metals experts Kitco News agrees. Stubborn inflation, geopolitical uncertainty, and diversification away from the U.S. dollar are reasons why central banks have voraciously bought gold and will continue to build their reserves, Christensen said, adding, "Even if gold purchases become more staggered, central bank demand will remain a solid pillar of support for the foreseeable future." Christensen bottom-lined it this way: nothing has changed for gold except the price. The same could be said of silver. Much of the enthusiasm for the white metal right now is the expected uptrend in industrial demand, along with a persistent silver shortage. According to Maria Smirnova, Chief Investment Officer at Sprott Asset Managers, a synergy of silver demand generated by the collective needs of the solar energy, automotive, and artificial intelligence sectors could push industrial demand to all-time highs this year. Furthermore, the demand spike is expected to occur amid a significant supply shortage. The projected result is growth in silver's market deficit by 17% this year. In the view of Smirnova, the resulting supply-demand dynamics potentially could be highly positive for silver, leading to much higher prices for silver bullion. The number one economic term that I have learned over the last several years is uncertainty. no one knows where anything is going to end up. That being the case, there are no guarantees about silver. However, I want you to consider what many strategists and analysts are saying, that all the fundamentals are in place regardless of the day-to-day volatility. And that's why when you look at our national debt, geopolitical tensions, and the economy at large, you should really consider, does gold and silver work for you? That's why I suggest you take the time to learn more about what's really going on in the economy by attending our exclusive one-on-one web conference at AugustaPreciousMetals.com/webconference.